Human hair is a part of the marine kingdom.
Wait, you have to take the wig, you got to cut it, then you got to lay it down, then you got to glue it down, then you got to cut it some more, then you got to lay the edges.
So the boho braids is canceled for the summer. All braids, knotless braids, boho braids, box braids, they cancel for the summer. So they're saying that the braiding hair that we're using is literally causing cancer. Not only to the person getting the braids, but the braider as well. We literally can't have anything. Why are these people trying to unalive us so bad? All of these braiding companies, their hair contains 10 carcinogens. 10 carcinogens. These brands were definitely tested from Sensational, Shake and Go, Magic Fingers, and only 2 decided to offer a statement, which was Sensational and Magic Fingers, saying that their products don't contain these ingredients. Lord, what we gonna do? Summertime is about to begin, and before it begins, it is canceled. Okay, cancel. There will be no braids. So that silk press is going to have to press out and stay a little longer. Comment down below if you have heard this.
Y'all, so have black men been right this entire time? Because y'all know, online at least, there have been a lot of black men that have been hating on black women because they wear wigs, weaves, extra hair in their braids, yeah. Now, for me, some of y'all know, if y'all have been watching me for a while, I keep my hair in a good old silk press. It's just because for me, it looks right, it's easy, and I promise you, I'm going to highlight this clip because every single time I have had a sew-in, I've done it twice. Once long ago, and then I also did it in the year 2024, last year. Well, actually, so it was winter time, so it was in between 2023 December, and then I got it out in January or February because it never lasts long. Something bad always happens, something drastic, after I get this hair, and I get it out, and then I feel myself again.
Random thought. Do you all think that human hair holds demons? Do you think wearing human hair on your head opens portals to deeper spiritual warfare? I recently quit wearing human hair because my pastor exposed that human hair is a part of the marine kingdom. Alright, y'all, story time. So human hair is demonic. Let me tell y'all what happened. Not too long ago, my pastor revealed to me human hair was demonic, so I stopped wearing it. I've been wearing braids all summer, and I've been feeling more peace within my spirit because it's true that there are demons that are tied to human hair that make you depressed, that make you crazy, that make you act really bad towards your spouse. With that being said, I haven't worn human hair in a minute. This weekend, I took out my braids and I decided to put on an old human hair wig. Guys, I was so depressed this weekend. I felt heaviness. I was mean to my husband for no reason. It was just like we were having a good time, but I was at war with myself. That night when I came home, when I took my wig off, it was like an instant relief. When I woke up the next morning, I felt peace within my spirit. I felt as though a weight has been lifted, and this Holy Spirit told me it was the hair. And I explained to my husband what was going on. He could not believe it, but he believed me. He was just like, wow. And guys, why the same night, last night, I tuned into. So I went to a new church that morning and I wore my synthetic hair. I had a great experience. I was happy with myself again. I was happy with everyone. I received the message. The message was directly from me. It was the supernatural. Guys, I got home. I told my husband everything. I told him about the fact that I feel as though that human hair, like, it took over me like a demon. And I said, you know, I haven't worn it in a while. We have not been fighting. We've been having a really beautiful marriage. And he was like, you're right. So I was like, I'm done. I'm not wearing human hair again. You know, God forgive me. With that being said, when I got home from church after like our long day, I decided to cook. I tapped into my regular pastor at Mountain of Fire Miracles Ministries. Guys, do you know he was preaching about raw Indian hair? He was saying that raw Indian hair, you know, they cut off the hair from dead Indian women and sell that to us. Who knows what demons are in that hair? They take the hair from their temples that they use to worship other gods. They take this hair from girls who are in poverty. Who knows what demons they're wrestling? And we're putting that on our head for vanity. He was saying vanity upon vanity.
Did you know that most affordable human hair extensions come from city drain?
Yup, I've known that and so much more since 2005, and after learning that, I never bought hair in a beauty supply store ever again. Every being that grows hair grows it in its own unique direction. And when you combine those different directions, it's going to mat and tangle. So what they do, as the video says, is that they treat it and they put a special coating on it so it all goes in one direction. So it looks nice when you buy it, but what happens when you start to put product in it and wash it and curl it? It mats and tangles because you strip all of that treatment away. And what you see in the end when you're ready to throw the hair away is what it was in the beginning, a matted, tangled mess. Another thing I learned back then is that hair that is labeled human hair or virgin hair, Remy hair, only legally has to be about 10% from a human head. The rest can be from any other source. I started doing research on donor hair and have been buying that to this day. Each bundle I have in my hair is from one source, and that is one person. I religiously dye my weaves permanent black. I go swimming in chlorine water, salt water. I've had my weave saturated in oil from an oil wrestling contest. That was another life. When I have straight weave, I flat iron and blow dry it on a regular basis. My curly weave stayed with mousse, moisturizer, leave-in conditioner, and when my color would fade with any of my weave, I would dye it permanent black again, many times over. Because when you have donor hair, you can always bring it back to its natural state. It will never give up on you. I get my hair from Intriguing Hair located in Boston, Massachusetts. I will tag them below if you're interested. Or you can do your own research. But yeah, stay away from beauty supply stores.
I've seen these videos, I've seen the reports about recently the braiding hair, which I thought was safe if it was human hair, but there's a lot going on with this. The braiding hair is causing cancer. The human hair is not really human.
Do you think that's a human hair or?
It feels like human hair.
Probably you will think this one is, very good quality hair. It's a human hair. But actually, I can tell you this is synthetic hair. By touch, you even cannot see it. But today, I'm going to tell you one really useful way. This one is usually like the hair winder. How can they test the hair? Just buy a lighter and we test it, use a fire test. First thing we can see is synthetic hair. Oh wow, it's even a big fire. You see, when you fire it, it's all the synthetic, the smell is really bad. You can feel the synthetic smell, and also this is very hard, no ash on there. And okay, this is our human hair. I also gonna fire it. Okay, human hair is smell like actually like the meat because as we know the hair is inside is protein. So you see, human hair you can get ash. No plastic. Thank you guys. This is the best way to figure out this is the human hair or the synthetic hair.
I really like this demonstration on how to tell synthetic versus human hair, or like human hair blend that's marketed as human hair. But being realistic, most people are buying their hair online or their stylist is doing it. So and when you go to the stylist, they're just adding the hair to your hair as they're styling it, right? If you say you want to sew in or tape ins or whatever. But then also, even if you go to a beauty store like this one, you're not going to be able to go in there, take the hair sample, burn it first, and then buy. Like, it's bad enough, the experience of going into one of these beauty stores that a lot of women have had. I haven't been to one in a long time. But I love this demonstration, but this just makes it clear that it's very difficult to even tell, because the girl that you saw in the beginning, she was touching the hair. She looks like she has, synthetic or human hair in her head right now, so maybe she felt really knowledgeable just by feeling the hair, but you really can't tell if it's human hair or not. And then we just talked about some of the issues that I have and I feel about adding actual human hair that's been on someone's head or someone else's head onto your head. It's always given me a little ick, but not bad enough to where I haven't tried it. But honestly, my last go around with trying to have a sew-in style with the quote-unquote human hair and these videos is just making me say, let me just stick with my own hair. Overall, I think whenever you are looking at something synthetic, right, whether you're looking at synthetic clothing to wear, synthetic hair, synthetic, food products, honestly, it's going to cause issues in our bodies because we're not used to that. We're going through these issues with the plastics overall and trying to limit plastic, which is impossible almost. So we're getting to a point where almost everything causes cancer. But why would we want to add to our chances of getting that, right? So, and then along with that, you'll see videos where a woman's talking about the causes of hormonal imbalances in our bodies that can cause things like cancer, fibroids, and a lot of different issues that women in particular have at certain points in our life. But Black women tend to have at younger ages rather. So the, different gels that we use in our hair, right? Our natural hair, the relaxers. We've known about the relaxers causing cancer and other conditions. And even shampoos, conditioners, like they have added products. So I'm sharing this not just for myself about the braids, but it affects, I think, all Black women, because if it's the hair, it's the hair products, it's, pretty much anything that we do to our hair, it can be harmful. The other thing I do want to know, I know we like to wear the satin bonnets, but I've recently purchased silk bonnets because that's 100% natural. Satin, although it sounds really good, and yes, it can be better for our hair than cotton, only because cotton is natural, but it wicks away moisture. But satin is not natural. It's a mix of polyester fabrics, right? Polyester and other fabrics, rather. And so for me, silk, although it is more expensive, in the long run, one, it lasts longer if you care for it. Two, it's better for you. Like sometimes I have to ask myself, do I want to pay this extra $10 for something or $20 for something? Or do I want to pay for it in the long run with a hospital bill? The other thing I have been using for a long time are silk pillowcases, which for me, it's really difficult for me to actually wear the bonnet, or whenever I do remember to do it, it normally just comes off of my head anyway. So now I have silk bonnets, and then I've always used silk pillowcases, so that way I can just go to bed without having to worry about my hair. And even today, I still get silk pressed, even though someone else does it for me, because I don't like to do it, but I know how to do it, right? I use good quality products, and I stay away from quote-unquote ethnic products outside of a few that I trust. I really hope this video helps somebody, and if you didn't know about the braids for the summer kind of being canceled right now, just be really, really cautious. The other thing I want to note is that going back to my experience of something drastically bad tending to happen after my experience getting added hair extensions, I also don't feel like myself. So I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, or I'm not trying to be super duper spiritual, but I do think there's something to this idea that everything living, right, has energy. And so if you're adding hair from someone that you don't know, or multiple people that you don't know, from places you've never been, right, and you add it you weave it, right? You weave it into your hair, and it's a part of you now. I do wonder sometimes, do you take on these different energies? Can that affect your mood? Can it affect how you are, how you feel? What kind of energies you bring into your own life? Can it have that type of effect from a spiritual standpoint, but then also just energetically? Like some of these things are scientific. You have to look at it. Sometimes science meets the spiritual in some ways. Okay, I know I'm losing you, but I think there's something to it. I know from my own personal experience, each time I've tried adding the hair, because I'm like, oh, I want to feel glamorous, right? I want to look like Beyonce. I don't really want to look like Beyonce now, because she looks like, what's that girl from Game of Thrones? Daenerys Targaryen. I don't want to look like that, but I'm just saying, Beyonce is very glamorous when she, she's given that look that I like in particular. But I want to look glamorous like a Beyonce, or like Kelly Rowland, or Gabrielle Union, and I know they all add in that hair to get that volume and length, but my hair doesn't need to be down to my butt. I can deal with my hair just being at past my shoulders, right? It's okay. Okay, so my added hair fee from my stylist actually tells me my hair is not just past my shoulders, it's at broad strap length or mid length or something. So yeah, so it's long enough. I don't need added hair. It's thick enough. I just don't need to straighten the crap out of it, and I should enjoy my natural volume is what I am learning, and I think what we all need to embrace if we haven't. But it's a journey. We go through a lot with just other people judging us based on our hair, us being taught to judge our own hair a certain way. And I'm so glad that we're able to get this information on the harmful nature of a lot of these products that are targeted towards us. And also alongside that, more of us embracing our natural hair and getting away from these certain looks that we need these harmful chemicals to even achieve.
10 popular synthetic braiding hair products were tested. The results are troubling. Every sample contained carcinogens, chemicals that may cause cancer.
3 of the samples tested positive for benzene, a carcinogen that is highly regulated and discouraged for use in laboratories because of the potential to cause cancer.
James Rogers, who led CR's synthetic hair testing, says testing found lead in 90% of the products.
There is no safe levels of lead. Our risk assessments and exposure models indicate that for users of these 9 products, they could be exposed to concerning levels of lead over time.
The risks don't stop there. When the hair is dipped in hot water during installation, a standard practice, it releases volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, that can irritate eyes, throat.
Now, I did find it a bit ironic that it appeared that it was a black man who was leading this study, which I'm very thankful for, but I also just know there are going to be black men going, see, I told y'all so. I told y'all that stuff was not right. So anywho, there is of course going to be a group of black women that are going to say, because of course you want to use your hair products, you want your braids for the summer, you want your wigs. I mean, we get it. It's just, these are just things that we use to add on to enhance our beauty, make our lives a little easier with what we need to do with our hair. I get it. This next lady, however, she's going through this process of attempting to make the hair less chemical-like and less harmful. I just don't think that's gonna help, because these are, I mean, it's still the hair, right? Now, unless you're doing what the lady mentioned before about using donor hair, I think that's a great idea. But going through this process, one, I don't think a lot of women are going to do it. I know I'm not doing it. I might as well, I'll just stick with my own hair if I have to do all that. I'm too lazy to do the wigs, because I'm like, wait, you have to take the wig, you got to cut it, then you got to lay it down, then you got to glue it down, then you got to cut it some more, then you got to lay the edges, then you got to, no. I always looked at wigs as this crazy process of things you got to do, and I'm just not doing it. I barely lay my own natural edges down myself. Like, y'all are just going to have to see some edges. But this process, I'm sorry, I just don't think women are going to do it. We can try our best, to use some of these tips, but no, I don't see it. But let me know what y'all think about this. Would y'all take these precautions to make the hair less carcinogenic, or make it cleaner, or whatever you need to do to help? Let me know. I guess if you are going to, at the end of the day, use this instead of maybe opting for donor hair or even more expensive hair, then maybe it can work. I don't want to judge it, but I'm just being realistic and saying I don't think a lot of women are going to do it. Let me know what y'all think.
So apparently braiding hair causes cancer now, but I'm gonna teach you how you can stop it.
We're gonna braid each and every bundle from this pack.
Loose, not too tight. You want the stuff to be able to get through.
Make sure that you're wearing gloves to keep yourself protected. I'm making sure every bundle is braided so that nothing gets tangled. Apple cider vinegar is the first thing I'm gonna use.
If it could clean the oil off them ducks, it could clean whatever they got in that hair. Okay, so we're gonna use Dawn to get all that gunk out. Amen.
Next, make sure you have shampoo and conditioner to wash off the apple cider vinegar.
Oh! I'm making sure it's saturating each and every bundle, especially at the root. That's where it be itching. So make sure where the rubber band is at is where you definitely saturate it the most, because that's what's touching your scalp and letting them chemicals seep in. I'm sorry. This part should be where the hair is mostly saturated in, because that's what's gonna sit on your scalp. Amen. I already see stuff rising up. I see it. The cancer is rising up. Look, it ain't even funny. If they putting this stuff in our hair, you ain't look, you ain't right. Y'all ain't right. I'ma squeeze the braid, make sure it's saturating, make sure it's getting in there. Make sure it's getting in there. Okay. We're gonna leave this in here for about 30 minutes. 30. No more, no less. Matter of fact, if you want to do more, that's your business. But I'm gonna leave it here for 30 minutes and we'll be back to see what comes up.
So this was after 30 minutes. The water is a lot foggier, and I don't think the camera really captures just how much white residue came up to the surface. So yeah, I would suggest if you leave it in longer, more would even come up. So now I'm just draining the apple cider vinegar water out, and I am hand washing each and every bundle with the Dawn dish soap. I'm making sure I'm saturating everything thoroughly, and then I'm going in with my conditioner and shampoo to wash it to make sure it doesn't smell like detergent or soap or apple cider vinegar. So after I wash everything thoroughly, I squeeze all the water and residue out. I do a last rinse, and then I hang each bundle on my hair rack so that it could dry overnight. See you guys later.
I'm not trying to be overly dramatic here, but I am absolutely done with synthetic hair. Okay, done with synthetic braiding hair. I had no idea how toxic synthetic braiding hair is. Yeah, I'm talking about, like the Carcinogens and all of the different braiding hair that we use that looks like Afro textured hair. That stuff is poisonous, okay? Yeah. Seriously. So harmful chemicals such as polyethylene tetraphthalate or PET, polypropylene or PP, and polyvinyl chloride are chemicals linked to a range of health issues, including skin irritation, respiratory problems like asthma, and even cancer. All right. Think about Carcinogens, right? We all use Carcinogens, right? Really affordable and popular. Well, it has acrylonitrile and vinyl chloride as well, both of which are toxic to humans. And according to the National Cancer Institute, directly links vinyl chloride with leukemia, lymphoma, and rare forms of liver, brain, and lung cancer. So I'm done.
I need y'all to listen to me clearly because this is one of the most important videos I've ever made. If you're a black woman who has ever used these hair products to get a perm, then you are twice as likely to get cancer. If you're a black woman with cancer or knows someone who has cancer, specifically uterine and ovarian cancer, and you or they have ever used these hair products right here, I need you to know that there's an opportunity for justice, accountability, and financial restitution. I just found out that this law firm right here, Leaf, Cabrasser, Hyman, and Bernstein, in conjunction with Equal Justice Society, Cerner and Associates, and Judge Stephanie Jones, the founder and CEO of Omega Dawn, decided to file a lawsuit on your behalf so that you can get justice.
On the last day of Black History Month is when I find out that braiding hair is causing women to get cancer. Like, that is so crazy to me. And then what's even crazier is that you don't even know what brands are like causing the cancer, because these braiding hair brands are lacking like detailed ingredient lists. So they're not even putting all the ingredients on their ingredient list. So how do you even look and see which brand has these harmful chemicals in them? These people have been putting formaldehyde in our braiding hair. Y'all, that is a bug killer. A bug killer. And they've been putting that in our braiding hair, and that stuff can literally give you cancer. So yeah, y'all, when y'all dip y'all braiding hair in hot water, all of that, it's actually releasing VOCs, which is just crazy to me. And it's just like, why is there chemicals in the braiding hair? Why is there acetone? Why is there formaldehyde? Why is there all those chemicals in the braiding hair? But at the same time, I feel like I can't be that shocked, because have y'all ever seen those videos of them like actually making the braiding hair? Like, it looks like chemicals. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
It's not worth it. So my ask of you is to just be more cautious about what you're putting into your hair, also your skin, also the food that you're intaking, the drinks that you're intaking. We all just have to be a lot more cautious, and we have to especially give a close eye to anything that is marketed as ethnic or for Black women, unfortunately, because there are too many gaps, there's too many stories, there's too many articles that we find in the news later where there's a lawsuit being brought up because of the effects that were in these products or in these things targeted to us. And it's 30, 40 years later, and now we can't even do anything about it, or someone has passed away in our family, and it was because of these products and these oversights from people that just don't care. So we have to care. Anyway, I'm gonna close out here. Y'all know I can get kind of chatty, and I'm very passionate about this subject. So Let me know what your thoughts are about this, and I will talk to y'all later.